very good evening, viewers. You're watching 6 Stories at 6. It's 6 p.m. and it's time for you to get a quick dip into the top stories of the day that we are tracking for you. First up, we'll tell you how Ranveer Allahabadiya has faced immense scrutiny, scathing rebuke from the Supreme Court today. The filth, the obscenity, the vulgarity has all been called out, and how. Also, viewers, will tell you the irreverence for the Mahakumbh in the minds of the opposition leaders is yet again on full display. Insults galore for the Mahakumbh. This time it is Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister. We'll tell you what she said and the backlash that followed. Also, we'll tell you that how the death of a Nepalese student in a university in Odisha has sparked a diplomatic row. The Nepalese Prime Minister has also stepped in. And India has a new Chief Election Commissioner. The Congress is questioning his selection, going on to call him 420 now. We'll also tell you how Prime Minister Modi today broke the protocol, making an exception for who he calls his brother from Qatar to welcome him at the airport. And finally, Tesla has announced job openings in India just days after Prime Minister Modi met the Tesla CEO Elon Musk in DC. First, we start with what happened in the Supreme Court. There is some relief, lots of rebuke and restraint for Ranveer Allahabadiya from the Supreme Court today. The court blasted Allahabadiya, saying mothers, sisters, and even the society is feeling ashamed of what he has said, what he has uttered. The court also said that his statements reflect his perverted mind. Court made these remarks while hearing a plea by Ranveer Allahabadiya, who is facing multiple FIRs in this case. He has some temporary relief. He is interimly protected from arrest right now. We'll tell you more what happened today in this report. In fact, viewers, we'll just take a look at the observations that have been made, the key takeaways. First of all, dirt in his mind. This is one of the big statements, the observations by court. Dirt in his mind. The society feels ashamed, and many other things have been uttered by Justice Kant. Stop this show business. In fact, he has been restrained from hosting any shows, and the society is ashamed. He himself should be ashamed how he thinks about the parents of other people. Society will be ashamed is another big observation. Scathing remarks by the Supreme Court bench. Parents, daughters will be ashamed. This is another big observation that has been made by Supreme Court as they shred Ranveer Allahabadiya for his obscenity. We also have Ashish Rai, one of the complainants in this case, who is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Mr. Rai, we were just going through the big, scathing rebukes of the Supreme Court. While he has been granted interim protection from arrest, but he cannot fly. His passport, we believe, will be seized very soon. And court has come down very, very heavily, saying that if this is not obscenity, then what? And why should we protect such a person?
Yes, obviously, as you said, the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, take these issues in a very serious manner. As the word which you have used, parents will feel shamed. Sister and daughter will feel shamed. Entire society will feel shamed. That is the statement which is given by Honorable Supreme Court. And it means not you have to must face investigation authorities as you summoned by the investigation authorities. So there have some relief. It means not you free to investigation authorities. You must have to face investigation and have some kind of, it means not they are free to investigation. That is the great statement and great step taken by this Honorable Supreme Court. And we are really thank you so much for that.
Right. Mr. Ashish Rai, thank you so much for joining us with your reaction on that story. Viewers, we quickly shift our focus to the insult that is being hurled at Mahakumbh day in and day out. Now, it's Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, who was speaking in the assembly and insulting the Mahakumbh, slamming the central government and Uttar Pradesh government led by Yogi Adityanath over the alleged mismanagement at the Mahakumbh Mela that is right now underway in Prayagraj. She went on to call it the Kumbh of death. She called it the Mrityu Kumbh, and also questioning the centre and the state government over the stampede deaths. Listen in.
মহাকুম্ভ আমি নাইবা বললাম, ওটা এখন মৃত্যু কুম্ভ হয়ে গেছে। মৃত্যু কূপের মতো আমি মহাকুম্ভকে সম্মান করি, আমি শ্রদ্ধা জানাই, পবিত্র গঙ্গা মাকে আমি সম্মান করি, কিন্তু প্ল্যানিং না করে এত হাইপ তুলে এত লোকের মৃত্যু বললেন 30 জন, কথাটা কি সঠিক? কত ডেড বডি ভাসিয়ে দিয়েছেন নদীতে? কত হাজার হাজার, 8বার আগুন লেগেছে। বড় লোক আর ভিআইপিদের জন্য লক্ষ টাকার ক্যাম্প, আর গরিব লোকেদের, সাধারণ লোকেদের জন্য লাইনে দাঁড়ান 15 ঘন্টা 20 ঘন্টা দাঁড়িয়ে, যদি একটা মাদুরেও বসে 2000 টাকা, এক কাপ লাল চাও 500 থেকে 2000 টাকা। তারা যে জায়গাটা গিয়ে স্নান করবে সেটা আলাদা, ভিআইপিদের স্নানের জায়গাটা আলাদা, আর সেই জলটা আপনারা দূষিত করেছেন, বিষাক্ত করেছেন মহাকুম্ভের পবিত্র জায়গাটা।
So there's no end to the slander against Mahakumbh, against Sanatan from Team Indie viewers. All the opposition leaders you see calling it a waste of time, calling it a waste of money, also going on to say it is useless. Here are some of the comments that have come in the past few days from the opposition on the Mahakumbh.
अरे सब कुंभ का क्या कोई मतलब है, फालतू है कुंभ।
सबसे ज्यादा कंटामिनेटेड वाटर इस वक्त कहाँ है? कुंभ में है। उसके लिए कोई सफाई नहीं दे रहे। बॉडीज जो पानी में डाल दी गई हैं उससे पानी कंटामिनेट हुआ है। डेड बॉडीज को उठा के पानी में डाल दिया है, पानी में डाल दिया, कंटामिनेटेड नहीं है वो वाटर।
महाकुंभ कोई शब्द नहीं है, लेकिन इन्होंने क्योंकि महाआयोजन के लिए बहुत सारा पैसा निकालना था, इसलिए पैसे को बर्बादी करनी थी, इसलिए नाम भी इन्होंने महाआयोजन दिया।
All right, in fact, viewers, these are just some of the reactions that have come in from the opposition. Yesterday, we saw Akhilesh Yadav questioning the Mahakumbh, saying it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. Now it is Mamata Banerjee calling it Mrityu Kumbh. And we have such comments coming in, Mallikarjun Kharge and several others like Jaya Bachchan also attacking the centre, attacking the Yogi Adityanath government. In fact, we have Acharya Pramod Krishnam, who is joining us on the broadcast. Pranam Acharya ji, हमने पहली बार तो नहीं सुना है इस तरह के जो इस तरह के बयानात जो हैं वो आते रहे हैं। जया बच्चन जी कहती हैं गंदा पानी है, जिस तरह से हमने देखा अखिलेश यादव जी कहते हैं कि ये एक पैसों का बस एक खर्चा है, इट्स अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम, फालतू है। लालू प्रसाद कहते हैं, ममता बनर्जी कह रही है तो मृत्यु कुंभ है। मतलब योगी मोदी को क्रिटिसाइज करने के चलते महाकुंभ को क्यों इतनी गालियां पड़ रही हैं?
देखिए, ये जो विपक्ष के नेता हैं, बेसिकली इनका जो टारगेट है वो सनातन धर्म, हिंदुओं की आस्था, और ये कोई भी मौका नहीं जाने देते हैं। ये तो मौत की दुआ मांगते हैं। ये दुआएं मांग रहे थे कि भाई कुंभ में अगर कुंभ की सफलता होती है तो उससे योगी जी का, नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार का, भारत का गौरव बढ़ेगा। जो भी काम, जो भी बात, जो फैसला या जो आयोजन भारत के गौरव को बढ़ाने वाला होगा, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के गौरव को बढ़ाने वाला होगा, या योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के यश को बढ़ाने वाला होगा, ये जो विपक्ष के नेता हैं ये उस पर हमला करते हैं। अब ये जो महाकुंभ को मृत्यु कुंभ कहा है, तो ममता बनर्जी इतनी सीनियर लीडर हैं, और मैं बड़े दुख के साथ ये कह रहा हूं कि वो हिंदू परिवार में उनका जन्म से ममता जी हिंदू हैं, लेकिन अफसोस की बात यह है कि हिंदुओं की आस्था के सबसे बड़े महापर्व महाकुंभ को मृत्यु कुंभ कहने से करोड़ों हिंदुओं की आस्था को ठेस पहुंची है। ममता बनर्जी को चाहिए कि इसका प्रायश्चित करें। ऐसी बातें, सनातन को टारगेट करने वाली बातें, सनातन को बदनाम करने वाली बातें, सनातन के खिलाफ, सनातन को मिटाने की बातें राहुल गांधी और वामपंथी लोग किया करते हैं, डीएमके वाले किया करते हैं। लेकिन अफसोस की बात यह है कि ममता बनर्जी जो खुद हिंदू हैं, उनका जन्म हिंदू के घर में पैदा हुआ है, अगर महाकुंभ के खिलाफ कोई दूसरे धर्म को मानने वाला व्यक्ति उसके खिलाफ बोलता तो मुझे इतनी तकलीफ नहीं होती। और मैं आपको आज बताना चाहता हूं कि महाकुंभ और हिंदुओं की आस्था के खिलाफ कोई ईसाई या कोई मुसलमान नहीं बोल रहा है। ये वो लोग बोल रहे हैं जो अपने आप को हिंदू कहते हैं, जिनका जन्म हिंदू परिवारों में हुआ है। राम का नाम लो, ये चिढ़ जाते हैं। जय श्री राम से इनको नफरत है। वंदे मातरम बोलना चाहते नहीं, वंदे मातरम से इन्हें नफरत है। भारत माता की जय बोलो तो इन्हें बुरा लगता है
जी।
भारत का कहीं गौरव बढ़ाया जाता है, इन्हें बुरा लगता है। तो पहले राहुल गांधी, अखिलेश यादव एंड डीएमके के नेता स्टालिन, अब ममता बनर्जी उसमें जुड़ गई है। तो मुझे लगता है ममता बनर्जी सनातन को गाली देने वाले गैंग का हिस्सा बना।
जी बिल्कुल, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए आचार्य प्रमोद कृष्णम और अपने राय हमारे सामने रखने के लिए। व्यूअर्स, of course, this is one of the stories that we are tracking today, and now we shift our focus to the story coming in from Odisha, where a third-year BTech student, a girl student, woman student from Nepal, studying at the Kaling Institute of Industrial Technology in Bhubaneswar, was found dead in her hostel room, leading to a massive uproar protest on the campus, and it is also now unfolding into a diplomatic row. We have a student, in fact, from the university who is joining us right now on the broadcast. We have Raj Behera, who's a student at the university in Bhubaneswar, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Behera, tell us what is the situation right now, because there are a lot of tensions that have been reported. There were massive protests, a lot of outrage. एंड अभी जो फिलहाल जो स्थिति है वो क्या है, वहाँ पर क्या कुछ हो रहा है? एम्बेसडर से भी बात की है, स्टूडेंट्स का क्या हाल है? क्या नेपाली स्टूडेंट जो है अभी भी वहाँ पर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं या फिर प्राइम मिनिस्टर के कहने पे, नेपाली प्राइम मिनिस्टर के कहने पे वापस जा रहे हैं? स्थिति क्या है?
यस मैम, अभी रिसेंटली मैम हमारे नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स को वापस से मतलब उनके घर भेज दिया गया था। एंड जब पीएम का, नेपाल के पीएम का जब वो आया मतलब ऊपर से मैसेज कि नेपाल एम्बेसी से आपको मदद मिलेगा लेटर देन, उसके बाद नेपाल स्टूडेंट से कांटेक्ट किया कि आप लोग वापस आइए, तो बेसिकली उन लोग सब तक घर पहुंच चुके थे। तो मैम हमारे कैंपस में अभी नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स मोस्टली है नहीं। एंड मैम रही बात प्रोटेस्ट की, तो मैम आज पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं एंड कैंडल लाइट मार्च अभी कर रहे हैं सब स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर, जो इंसिडेंट हुआ उसकी वजह से।
राइट, इन्वेस्टिगेशन को लेकर क्या किस तरह का रुख है? जो कि एक स्टूडेंट जो है, एक मेल स्टूडेंट जो है, जो लखनऊ से है, वो अरेस्ट कर लिया गया है, जुडिशियल कस्टडी में है वो इस वक्त। लेकिन क्या कुछ सामने आ रहा है? किस तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेशन जारी है? एंड व्यूअर्स, एज वी स्पीक वी कैन सी अ कैंडल लाइट मार्च इज ऑल्सो हैपनिंग फ्रॉम वेयर मिस्टर राज बेहरा इज राइट नाउ रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्सिटी। तो लोगों में काफ़ी आक्रोश है, और इन्वेस्टिगेशन पर क्या कुछ आप लोगों को जानकारी है?
यस मैम, इन्वेस्टिगेशन मैम अभी चल रहा है। पुलिस ने एफआईआर अभी रिसेंटली मतलब दर्ज किया है लोकल पुलिस स्टेशन में यहाँ पर। एंड जो बॉय था जो लखनऊ से था उसको मैम पुलिस ने अभी ग्रैब करके मतलब पकड़ लिया। बेसिकली वो रन करने का ट्राई कर रहा था, सो उसको एयरपोर्ट से ही पकड़ करके वापस से पुलिस ने अपने हिफाजत में लिया। एंड रही बात मैम लोगों में बहुत ज़्यादा आक्रोश है इस इंसिडेंट के बाद मैम।
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया राज बेहरा for joining us as a student from KIIT, was giving us live visuals in fact from the university where a candlelight march is being held over the death of the Nepalese student and demanding justice for her. A student was found dead in the hostel. One man has been arrested. And we'll get you more on that, viewers. But right now, we shift our focus to the other political stories, in fact, that we are tracking right now. So, Gyanesh Kumar has been appointed as the new Chief Election Commissioner. Rajiv Kumar's term has ended. Gyanesh Kumar now comes in. Now, so Congress is fuming over his appointment, claiming that the decision was taken in haste, questioning the integrity of the process. In fact, now, in the latest tweet, the Congress has gone on to insult the new CEC, calling him a 420. It's a report.
The centre and the opposition are at odds yet again. This after the centre picked Gyanesh Kumar, a 1988 batch IAS officer from the Kerala cadre, as the new Chief Election Commissioner. The appointment was formally notified by the centre, raising the hackles of the opposition. The Congress was up in arms over the naming of the new Chief Election Commissioner, claiming that the decision was made in haste. Rahul Gandhi, who was part of the discussions preceding the naming of the new CEC, in his capacity as the opposition leader in the Lok Sabha, claimed his dissent note in the matter was ignored. Coming down heavily on the centre, Congress MP Pramod Tiwari said the new poll panel head was picked regardless of a plea in the Supreme Court.
मामला सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्वीकार भी कर लिया है सुनवाई। ऐसे में क्या जल्दी थी कि आपने वही जो चुनौती दी गई जिसको, जो विवादित है समिति, जिसमें आपने चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को हटाया है या उनके नॉमिनी को, उसमें आपने नियुक्ति कर दी।
The plea seeking the formation of a selection panel to pick the Chief Election Commissioner is pending arbitration in the Apex Court. Senior Congress leader K.C. Venugopal said the centre should have waited till the Supreme Court hearing on the plea on February 19, adding that the move was unconstitutional and an assault on the country's independent electoral process.
Moving or trying to keep the Chief Justice out of the appointment process as an independent entity. The government has made it clear they want only control but not credibility. And the most important thing for the EC is credibility.
However, the BJP rebuffed the charges, saying that the appointment was made after due consultations between the ruling and opposition leaders.
जल्दीबाजी में कैसे फैसला लिया गया? जो विहित प्रक्रिया का अनुपालन अगर हुआ है और अपनी राय लोग व्यक्त कर दी है तो सरकार को जो अधिकार क्षेत्र उसके तहत नियुक्ति हुई है।
The storm over the new poll panel head rages. The larger question is, will the opposition now find a new excuse to cast aspersions on electoral outcomes?
All right, viewers, now the story that came in this morning, this was the Prime Minister who came in to welcome the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Al Thani, and he broke all the protocols in order to receive him at the airport, also going on to call him his brother. So there was a lot of political questioning, a lot of political reactions that came in on that. At the same time, there were two important MOUs that were also signed, bilateral agreements that were also signed. Trade was on the, of course, agenda of the talks, as well as was technology. Here's a report on that.
Embarking the second day of his visit to India, the Emir of Qatar was accorded a grand ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. After the formal welcome, Sheikh Tamim and President Draupadi Murmu introduced their respective ministers and delegations at the President's house. After the grand welcome, the Emir and PM Modi headed to the Hyderabad house, where they held a bilateral meet. The two leaders engaged in delegation-level talks aimed at strengthening the ties between India and Qatar and elevating the ties to a strategic partnership. Including Qatar in its vision of becoming a $5 trillion economy, the two countries established the India-Qatar Joint Business Forum with the signing of two MOUs.
भारत और कतार के बीच संबंध ऐतिहासिक भी है और संभावनाओं से भरे हुए हैं। कल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो मित्रता का, एक भाईचारे का संदेश हिज हाइनेस आमिर ऑफ कतार को एयरपोर्ट पर जाकर रिसीव करके दिया है, मैं समझता हूं उसी में पूरी कहानी स्पष्ट हो जाती है।
With the Emir of Qatar visiting India for the second time almost after a decade, India-Qatar relations have been steadily growing, supported by historical ties and regular high-level engagement, with cooperation expanding into trade, energy and culture.
Good news. news at least coming in for India as the latest announcement by Tesla has signaled that it intends to enter the Indian markets. 13 job openings have been announced by Tesla in India. And to know more or understand the significance of it, we have Puneet Gupta, who is the director, S&P Global Mobility. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for joining us on Republic TV. And, you know, there have been a lot of, it has been an intermittent relationship between Tesla and India. Earlier, there were a lot of hesitations from Elon Musk's part to enter the Indian markets due to the high duties, the custom duties. But now, after the Modi-Musk meeting, we understand that there is going to be a market entry for Tesla, and it begins from hiring.
Yes. So I think entry of Tesla will definitely be a catalyst, for India EV market. And undoubtedly, the visit of Prime Minister Modi, and meeting Musk is going to be a game changer, because we definitely feel today Tesla needs India, because it's in the key markets, Tesla is degrowing, for example, China, or other developed parts of the world. And parallelly, India needs Tesla because we have our own energy security issues, and we really want an EV player who can develop the EV ecosystem in India. It can be suppliers, who can really make EV parts. And basically, Tesla has that technology, that know-how, which can really help, India giving what it needs. So, and that's true, because we have been hearing upon Tesla is starting recruitment, though it may be more from the dealer perspective, in two key locations, which is Delhi and Mumbai for now.
Right. Mr. Puneet Gupta, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV with your thoughts on that development. Viewers, that's all we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with more news and updates on the other side at 6:30. Don't go anywhere.